Okay, so I actually really wanted to react to this vid because I don't know how long ago when I posted a vid, I really looking forward to Project Mugen. I think that it could be a really, really, really great game, but at the same time, it has a lot going on, and I think that they have to take their time on it for it to really shine. It has been a while since we last seen anything from the game. I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's react where they're at, like game development wise.
Here.
The biggest gacha announcement of the entire year just dropped. Project Mugen is going to be officially playable, as confirmed by NetEase themselves. I'm assuming this is due to the fact that Neverness to Everness is approaching a playable state.
Neverness to Everness is another game that looks promising, but honestly, I don't know. I don't think I'll be playing Neverness to Everness. It really depends. I mean, I'm already playing like a lot already, so and I barely keep up with the ones I do play. So I don't know. Neverness to Everness, we'll see, man. We'll see.
Not Mugen to rush at all. I really, really, really don't. I don't.
As they very likely
Agreed. I don't want them to rush Mugen at all because it just looks so promising. Like to me, it's just like the exploration, like the movement, like running around, swinging, driving, climbing, like all of it looks phenomenal. So
they don't want to get left behind, given they announced their game first. He's trying to get a head start in an active attempt to release before Neverness does.
Okay.
Now I'm sure you're curious about the details.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and jump right in. NetEase held their third quarter 2024 earnings call. This is documented over on their official website and dozens of others. Numerous different games were mentioned. Destiny Rising, Once Human.
Wait, so NetEase, the company that's making it, I guess, and their earnings, they have a revenue of 3.63 billion.
Dozens of others. Numerous different games were mentioned. Destiny Rising, Once Human, Fragpunk, but most important was this little section dedicated specifically to Mugen. They go on to note, we are also planning to start a regional offline technical test soon for our eagerly anticipated open world adventure title Project Mugen. After another year of intense development and refinement, Project Mugen is ready to captivate ACG fans with a fresh urban exploration experience.
Spider-Man.
Next up, we're thrilled to also announce
I like it because I feel like it does the urban like aesthetic in a way that's better than, I want to say it better than Zenless. Zenless has this like urban retro theme that's really like reminiscent of Persona, but like this is just like an urban, you know, town cityscape without like the stylistic retroness of it, if that makes sense.
It's our latest product, Marvel Mystic Mayhem, Marvel Universe, blah, blah, blah. We don't care about that.
True.
They have spent the last year in intense development and refinement. And according to them, the game is now ready to captivate players. This is not them saying...
If the game looks like this, because this trailer is like a year and a half old. If this game already looks like this a year and a half ago, I mean, fuck, bro. This could actually be the next big one. It really...
I mean, that's true. But at the same time, I don't know. Unless they're working on like the little, like, what is it called? Animations and like particle effects and stuff like that. I don't think obviously no one said it, but I don't think the actual art style is going to change unless they're like changing how much they like put into the like little details of like, you know, like fog, dust, aura, things like that, like different like little aspects of characters, which like enhance the look of it. Unless they're like adding more stuff like that. For the past year, they could have been working on little stuff like that to make the game look better. And they probably could have been working on like the actual game itself, like expanding the story, where the story's going, you know, like little cutscenes, you know, all this little stuff, missions and stuff like that. Hopefully it actually looks a lot better.
Really good. Now I'm being very optimistic with this shit. But Project Mugen's got the cars, it's got the fun traversal, the graphics are pretty damn good. They're not up to Zenless Zone Zero's models, but Zenless Zone Zero is much smaller scale, so I don't expect them to be able to keep meat on that regard. The combat...
Zenless Zone's models are good, but I don't think Zenless would be too hard to like beat in terms of like how they look. I feel like Project Mugen is like already there, if not already past Zenless. I basically think that Project Mugen can easily like pass Zenless.
Depends on the way they portray the story. I'm hoping they do more comic book panel style storytelling, but I think Project Mugen really has it. The number one gacha game that I think that we're getting in the near future is most likely Azure Familia. That's just me though.
Hey, we're releasing...
I did see Azure Familia. I think Azure Familia is going to be the new Genshin because it's so like casual based and there's not like crazy combat stuff that you, well, at least from what I've seen. I think it's going to be big because it's very casual friendly, basically.
A test phase and then we're going to overhaul aspects of it and release 3 years from now. No, this is him saying the game is ready. We're gonna test it, make sure it works, and then we're gonna release it, which is crazy.
Yep.
Because Neverness was expected to be significantly ahead of Mugen, but that might not be the case anymore. Neverness might need to put their foot down on the gas pedal because Mugen is approaching completion. They have been hard at work.
Is there more news or just that one
releasing
screenshot?
Regular content on social platforms like Neverness has been.
Bro, the
Instead,
dual yo-yo looks
they've
so
been
good.
Silent, they've been quiet, they've been working hard.
That chick's shark teeth is so hot.
They have a finalized product to show for it. They are holding an offline technical test. I'm unsure if they're going to hold an online test phase.
I hope I can get into that offline technical test. For every gacha that has like passed in recent years that had like a closed beta, I've never been able to get it. It might be because I'm black
as well. We know that.
Okay, so genuine question. I think this character objectively looks really good.
We know that.
I think she looks good. She kind of reminds me of Miyabi. Miyabi looks good, but she kind of looks basic. So she looks good, but she's basic.
I think the expression is great. I think the proportions are great.
Wow, they just hit me with a freaking ad.
Right, I think the character at least looks unique enough where I would be excited about this character. Chet, do you think this character looks good or no? I don't think she's on the level of like Jane Doe.
She looks good, but like I wouldn't even say she looks unique enough. Like she doesn't look unique at all.
Or on the level of like Bernice, right? But I would say that this character in a Honkai Star Rail game would at least look the equivalent of she looks like a Jean from Genshin Impact. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe looks like a Himiko.
Yeah, that makes sense. Since she's like in the early trailers, I'm guessing she's like either a standard character. Nah, she's definitely a standard character. Her design is okay for that. Basically.
From Honkai Star Rail, you know what I'm saying? Like she looks like a standard 5-star. You know what I'm saying?
At Wuthering Waves held an offline technical test, and then they released like a month or two later. This could be an indicator as to when Mugen plans on releasing. Or it could just be them saying, hey, we finished the game, now we're gonna test.
That's if she's a 5-star. No, she could be 4.
It ourselves. We're gonna make sure it's working, and then we're gonna let you guys test it. Scrolling.
Sure, I think that's a great idea. However, I think that Project Mugen rushing due to Neverness to Everness would be a massive fucking blunder. I think Neverness to, holy fucking tits, Jesus Christ. I think Never to Everness is going to be pretty good, but I don't think it's going to be the scene disruptor that people are expecting Project Mugen and Azure Premilia to be. Time will tell, but I think those are the next two big hitters.
Yeah, I think so too, because it typically brings everything from everyone's favorite games into one place, and like the fun aspect. So like driving around in GTA, it's the feel of driving around in GTA that's fun and that feels nice. If it doesn't feel like, you can drive, but like if it doesn't feel nice, you won't like it. Same thing with web slinging. In Spider-Man, it feels good.
Going down a little bit further, they do note Mugen a few more times. Thank you for your management for taking my question. My question is on your pipeline. You mentioned some titles earlier in the call, but could you provide more details on the game genre and the expected launch time for the key titles in 2025? Additionally, I'd like to ask a question on Project Mugen.
Oh, shit.
What is the latest status of the game and the expected launch time?
Oh, shit.
To which William Ding responded, yes.
They answered a real fucking question? Okay.
Wow, okay. I did not know that. They're also making Fragpunk. From what I've seen, Fragpunk is actually a really, really good game. And I did not know they were also like, I don't know if they're the same developers or they're also making Project Mugen. But if they're making Fragpunk, and I've seen what Fragpunk looks like, Fragpunk looks amazing, by the way. I think Project Mugen has like some crazy potential now. I feel like they could definitely nail it now.
Hey, we already got that shit on Genshin. Nice.
So let's talk about Fragpunk and Project Mugen. Fragpunk, as we mentioned, that we're going to have a test within this year in December.
Yep.
Based on that test result, we'll decide when to launch the game officially. That's for Fragpunk.
Okay.
As for Project Mugen,
No idea what Fragpunk is.
as we mentioned, we're going to have the first offline test within this year.
Okay, so that means the next month.
Is going to be at some point in December, and we do have high expectations for Project Mugen, not only because we invested a tremendous amount of R&D resources into this product, but also our expectation is that this game is not going to be only another open world action game. It will carry NetEase's thinking about future action games.
Oh shit.
Based on our 20 years of experience, knowledge of the Chinese game, of the gamers and observational gamers, we got a lot of thinking into what the future of this type of game should be and what will be reflected in the game. We have high expectations.
I am really I admire developers that have confidence in their own product. Like, they gassed this shit the fuck up. That gets me excited because so many devs undersell the excitement of their games. This is huge.
Unfortunately, it does look as though they dodged answering the
hit with another
release date, but they...
Well, it's probably because they just don't have an answer for that. If I were to guess, if it's doing testing within the year, that means that a alpha will probably happen within 2 months, the beta will happen within 6 months, and the release will probably happen by the end of 2025, which is fucking pain. But maybe they say it's good to go. Who knows?
If what he says actually pans out and they release during end of 2025, you know, I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad.
Confirm that at some point...
I don't give a fuck when this game comes out. I just want it to be a banger when it comes out, and I don't want it to be another Blue Protocol situation. Because I waited for Blue Protocol for 7 fucking years, and then it got canceled. And that...
I even forgot about Blue Protocol, and it got canceled? Holy, I didn't know that. That
shit pissed me the hell off.
In December, there is going to be a definitive offline technical test, and it was hinted at being available at some point in 2025. They didn't state that it wasn't launching in 2025, which means if Neverness isn't careful, Project Mugen is going to release before they do. Neverness thought they had this in the bag, that they could release their version of Project Mugen before Project Mugen did, but that might not be the case. Either way, I'm excited to see who is going to captivate.
I will say, as much as I want them to take their time, this is the most competitive the gacha space has ever been in history. The games that have come out are so fucking good. There really is something for everybody. The only way the gacha scene becomes huge again is if one game comes out that just dwarfs every other game and gets everybody to quit. That was Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact got...
It was Genshin Impact, but Genshin Impact... I don't think Genshin Impact got everyone to quit. Well, it's because Genshin Impact was the first of its kind, because I actually played Breath of the Wild like a few years before Genshin dropped and completed it, and I really liked it when I first played it, and then Genshin took everything likable from that game but made it gacha. Now Project Mugen is doing that same thing but like on a larger scale, and if they put it in gacha and make it good, we can really see something crazy happen.
Everybody to quit every other gacha game to only play Genshin. We are looking for the next Genshin. I do believe that Azure and Project Mugen, based on what we've seen, do have the potential to be the next Genshin. Wuthering Waves, I'm not gonna lie, Wuthering Waves for about 2 months recaptured the excitement of a fresh Genshin launch again. The launch of Wuthering Waves was phenomenal, rivaling the same as COVID Genshin launch, which was nuts. I think these two can also give us the initial hype of that game again.
The urban fantasy market, players that are interested in the...
I agree. I think they can give us that initial hype, but can they maintain it? I want it to be like Tower Fantasy, because Tower Fantasy, for me, I actually really liked Tower Fantasy when it first dropped. It just fell off. It just wasn't as polished as Genshin was.
Vehicular transportation and exploration. I just genuinely hope neither game rushes to release before the other, because that game will fail. Hey, hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that.
Bro, that's insane that Styx made a 5.5-minute video based on 2 lines of text.
Let me show you how to block this.
And I got hit with another ad, man. Great.